Hi, this is Bo. Welcome back to 2-Minute Marketing from My Small Salon. Glad you came back. Well, once again, I'm going to insert a new message in between the segments on my series on customer perceptions. I think doing these preemptions work well for a series like Perception. If you've seen the first two segments, then you know that Perception is loaded with very useful tips and tidbits and lots of insights. I believe that tossing something lighter in between these heavy segments is a good thing. This is kind of a breather before the next segment. Let me know what you think about that. So now I'm preempting Perception with a topic that I'm going to really open up later on and analyze, and then offer some good tips and tools and skills you can use. And I'm choosing this topic because it comes up so often in discussions, chats, articles, even in some very well-known blogs. And speaking of blogs, there's one individual that I follow. He's an author, a well-known author, and he writes a column every now and then for Fortune magazine, and he just recently wrote about this. So I know it's very prevalent. And this is an issue that torments many small businesses in general, and almost all small market salons in particular, I'll bet. And as I get to talking about it, you'll see. So I'm bringing this topic up right now, and then I'll go and do the formal stuff later. You can put this segment in the random rant category. Overcoming this one is a step-by-step process. So let me apologize in advance for entering into a topic and not giving you the strategic solutions at the same time. Okay. So what is this issue that I see so much that is harming small market hair and nail salon owners? It's simply this: the incorrect belief that your customers cannot afford to pay a higher price for your services. Yes, I hear and read about that one a lot. I don't think anything more profoundly affects salon owners for a longer period of their ownership than this incorrect assumption that somehow their low price just happens to magically meet the customer's budget, that formulating prices based on hard costs with barely a livable stipend left over is somehow the best and most that small market salon owners can hope that their customers are able to pay. So you can look at this as sort of a corollary to Perception Part 1, another branch of the salon owner's big incorrect perception that significantly and unnecessarily hurts their business. Small salon owners quite incorrectly believe that their customers are just barely getting by, penny pinching wherever they can in our recessionary economy. This is incorrect. Now, believing that your customer will not pay more for your higher priced services is another subject that I'll knock down flat for you later. Belief that they will not pay is a different topic. But if you've ever entertained, even for just a single moment, that your customers cannot pay 10%, 20%, or even 50% more for your services, well, then I want you to consider something. As I stated back in the 2-Minute Marketing introduction video, according to consumer buying studies, only about 10% of consumers make the decisions of what to buy based solely on price. Just 10%. And, as I stated in the first Perception video, if price were the only buying consideration, then we'd all shop at Walmart for everything that we needed. But we don't all shop at Walmart because price is not the only consideration when buying. Not for the vast majority of us. Now, I admit that these are just dry words. There's no meat on these bones, so to speak. Just facts and stats that don't carry any real weight. So here's how I'll put this very important concept into the real world for you. Let's work with visuals. I want you to imagine your average customer right now from head to toe. Just visualize them. If you're in the salon right now, you may not have to imagine it all. Just look at your customers right now. Okay, you got an image? Good. Now, that handbag you see there, from Walmart, right? Those shoes. Look at those shoes. Real Walmart specials, right? No. Okay, how about that outfit? Obviously Walmart clearance rack, right? Don't think so. And the aroma coming off her hair must be the 99-cent bottle of Suave, right? Nope. Starting to get the picture here? Each of these items represents a number of statements that your customer, this consumer, has chosen to make. One of those statements is loud and clear. This was not purchased at Walmart. Even customers that, based on what we hear them say about their obligations, we secretly believe that they should only be shopping at bargain barns. Even they will make the conscious decision to shop at a higher priced, higher value retailer. So let me say something here about Walmart. I am not down on Walmart. You hear me mention Walmart a lot on this blog. I'm not down on Walmart. It's a big, big company, supplies lots of good things for lots of people. I even shop there from time to time. So I have nothing against Walmart. I just use the word Walmart because it's kind of a metaphor for the place to go to get the low cost stuff where you don't have to spend a whole ton of money. Okay, so it's just a metaphor. When I use Walmart, it's just a metaphor for that. Okay. Now, the concept of value is extremely elastic for products and services. It can vary dramatically from person to person, across economic strata, regions, cultures, time periods, you name it. In fact, in one of my coaching infotainment seminars, I illustrate how a piece of string can actually be worth $50, $2, and 1 cent, all at the same time and in the same room. It's true. There are principles at play here, both economic and psychological. And for the long-term financial health of your salon, even if you never really understand them, you have to accept them and learn to work with them. If not, they will definitely work against you. Now, I wish I had time to really open this thing up for you and lay out every aspect of it clearly, but I promise you that will come later. I'll give you exactly what you need to bridge this gap and have your customer meet you at the higher price point. Be waiting there for you. But for now, the important thing is that anytime you think that your customers can't afford a higher price, just remember that mental image, head to toe. At some point, the case was made to them that the higher priced products were worth it, regardless of all the other less expensive choices or unrelated obligations that they had. And think about this. ExxonMobil, Walmart, and Apple have been swapping places as the #1 most valuable companies over the past 5 years. You know how much we need gasoline, and Walmart sells food and clothes. But Apple? A legitimate case can be made that we really don't need anything that Apple sells. We don't actually need their products. I mean, they're nice products to have with excellent form, functionality, and practicality, but we can get similar electronic goods elsewhere. Pads, pods, and phones. So a company that sells stuff that we don't need is the biggest company in the world, or close to it. Why are Apple's goods so popular? Because when you boil it all down, at some point the case for purchasing their stuff was successfully made to the consumer. And if the cases for nicer handbags, nicer shoes, and nicer clothes were also successfully made, then our hair and nail cases can be successfully made too. Good customers never ask for dirt cheap prices for anything, but they will gladly accept a dirt cheap price if no one ever makes the case for why they should buy something a little different, a little better, and pay more for it. And making the case for the higher priced product or service is not that hard. It really isn't. Call it salesmanship, showmanship, product positioning, educating the consumer, or whatever you want. But it isn't hard once you know how. It's just another skill, a very useful skill, a skill that trumps your lower price competition. And remember, only 10% absolutely cannot. The other 90% can. They're ready and waiting for you to make your case. You'll see. But for now, I'm Bo. I have to go. We'll pick up with part 3 of Perception next time. So I hope you can join me for it right here at 2 Minute Marketing for My Small Salon.